Hello, everybody. My name's Milan Starcic. Welcome to Freedom Rising, a podcast dedicated to empowering individuals on the journey to personal growth, lasting serenity, and freedom from addiction. Tune in and join the movement. Your journey to freedom starts here. We neither represent, promote, or demote any 12-step program or organization. We are merely souls on the path of recovery with the desire to expand our lives and experiences and share them with you. Hello, everybody.
What is up?
Welcome to the 170, is this 7th Recovery Freedom Rising podcast. I'm Milan Starcic with co-host Andrew, Normand and Brandi S. Today's topic is family dynamics in recovery. Would you share what this means to you, Andrew, and why you're happy to discuss this here today?
I would love to. What I'm starting to realize, though, Milan, is you need a clean time counter for this podcast. You're starting to lose track of your clean time on the number of podcasts you're doing. You need like a separate little clean time counter, right?
You know what it is I start to bounce the files, and then I'm like, oh shit, I announced it wrong on that one. But I'm gonna double check. Right, we are on the 177. I just double checked on the last one.
There we go.
I know one thing is that the number thing isn't going to get any easier as they go up, for sure. I don't think that's going to happen. So, but I'm proud of all of us, and I love both of you. I love both of you immensely.
Love you guys.
Thank you for coming up with this topic, Brandi. As I started really thinking about this topic, as I started what I want to say, pontificating, spell that. About
Pontificates.
We'll check later. We'll check the spelling later. So early on, man, I had this belief. Let's talk. There's the dynamic of the new family we create in NA, and then there's the family dynamic outside of NA, and then there's a lot of changes that go on. But recovery, as much as I thought it was, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. Early on, I had this belief that, like, if I just stayed clean, everything in my family would just kind of magically fix itself. And it didn't. It didn't. As much as I wanted to believe that it would, it didn't. But my recovery in NA, the 12-step fellowship that I attend, to show me that healing from these relationships is it's a process. This is a process as much as it is anything else. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires a lot of, and the main terms that I have written down: honesty, patience, humility, and love. It takes a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because the family system is deeply impacted by us when we use, and we think it's just us, but they get addicted to whatever they get addicted to. Codependency comes into play. A lot of these aspects come into play, but like addiction just doesn't just harm me. It affects every single relationship that I have. Anybody that I'm close to. Trust is broken. Communication is damaged. Roles in the family get mixed up. People get confused about who they are in the relationship, and resentments pile up, man. Resentments pile up for the people that I love the most and I trusted and look to the most. And that shit is that I think that alone is one of those, we can't come back from that thoughts that we have. We're just like, man, we just can't come back from all the shit that we did to these people that just continue to love us and love us and love us. And we continue to do that shit over and over and over, right? And so when I got into recovery, I wasn't just carrying my addiction, right? I was carrying the wreckage of my family too, right? Like the dynamics, because they have their own issues with me, because they love me. They genuinely want to see the best for me, and I'm just spitting in their face. So I come in here and I learned how to repair, rebuild, and sometimes reframe these relationships through this process of recovery, through the 12 steps. We're going to talk a lot about it today. It's a beautiful topic, and I'm so glad that you came up with this. We were going to do like codependency too, which would have been cool too, but this is really cool, and I'm really liking where this can kind of go and who we have talking about it too. So I love you both. Brandi, what you think about it?
Love you. Man, I love this. What I was thinking about it, I love this topic because I feel like I can look at it, or I've lived both sides. I've been the family member with the addict, and then I've been the addict of the family. And so it's there's so much involved in our addiction and our recovery that does not just involve us. And how things, when people recover, how things are afterwards. The dynamics are not always great. And it's, but then sometimes it's maybe that's how it's always should have been and in a good way. And finally family dynamics can change and go up or down in the midst of addiction and then recovery also. So I think it's a great topic to talk about because I know, at least I know for me, and I can probably tell for you guys too, that, our families are super important and we put them through a lot. We put ourselves through a lot. And to be able to like build that healthy family dynamic in recovery after active addiction is so important because it's us, it's a part of us. And so I think it's a great thing. I always love to talk about my family because I love them so much. And I'm so grateful that I have them in my life still after everything. And I feel like we're pretty healthy, in a not perfect way, which I love. I'll leave it right there.
Right. Perfectly
Woo.
imperfect.
Perfectly
Man,
imperfect. That's right.
I love you guys. That this as soon as I saw this, I was like, man, this is the story of my life right now. Like literally.
Yeah.
And and it really kind of I feel like refers to our shifting patterns of communication and roles and relationships. Like all that is just not a static thing. Like it's
Mhm.
dynamic all the time. And we I've heard someone say, and I just love it, is that we took a lot of hostages inside our addiction, and
Man.
like unwilling, come for the fucking ride and deal with life and me, and those hostages were bound, their hands and feet by their love with us, right? Like,
Yeah.
and man, like, so now it's like we're all of a sudden having this growth and having these changes, and it's like, what's up with you? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's like, hey, like,
So true.
and and the problem is, it's like, man, like, look at the number of years that we were put up with or accepted or just
Yeah.
dealt with. Like, it's like, and now, like a couple years in, we're like, come on. Come on,
Yeah.
like and I can really easily catch myself having 100th the grace that they had for me, or
Yeah.
displaying less of the love, and it's like, so then that in itself makes me question, well, where's my growth really at? You
Yeah.
know, like because if I'm like, I mean, it we can only lead by example, and we can only
Yes.
we can only be the change that we want. And one thing that I've really seen, at least in the last like 6 to 8 months inside my family dynamics, is that that it can inspire other people to change, and that it has to be that way. And much
Yeah.
like the removal of my defects and shortcomings happening at the speed of my, like the universe, my higher powers, timetable, and not mine, so is this repair to my relationships. And I think I'm going to leave that there because I feel like I don't want to step on the toes of some amazing questions coming up.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
So,
good.
it's
yep.
going to
And
be
I like to start off with, a good opening kind of question to get us into this thing. So,
put on your hip waders.
That's
Dizzle,
right. That's
how
right.
did your addiction affect the dynamics in your family? Let's tell us about it.
Man, so it's so many different ways, really. I think that, before I mean, I've always been an addict. I've always lied about what I did because, like I always talk about when I come in, these last 10 years of my marriage, my life, really my whole marriage, but again, I was not admitting that I had a problem. But if I had to lie to get drunk every day and do something else and not seem so drunk, like there's a problem there. And it automatically uh put this, like, like we weren't me and my husband weren't like necessarily a team. We weren't necessarily against each other at the time, but we were not right there. It was a constant of like, well, what did you do this time? Or are you get mad at me this time? And so it just, but the love has always been there. And definitely I think that's the unconditional love is what has kept us together, saved us for sure. But the dynamic just got worse and worse and worse, especially the deeper I got into my addiction. And it would be like there was a time where it would be me and the kids against him, and I created that. I fully created that and didn't see it until later. And then it was, there's no honesty at that point. That's not healthy in any relationship, especially family. I always my ideal of like marriage is like, for me as a wife, at least, my husband should be able to trust me over anybody besides his mama, of course. And anybody. And that was not there. That was I've robbed him of that for so many years. And to be able to even rob myself from being able to be honest with my husband. And so it created a lot of unhealthy family dynamics, and in a way that I parented. I looked over a lot of things. It definitely, either I saw it and looked over it, or wasn't even present enough to see it. And then my relationship was toxic. It was, I couldn't say anything without my husband thinking it was a lie. And every time he said something, I thought he was manipulating me or gaslighting me. Man, was I the one doing that? Like, I was definitely, what I felt like he was doing to me, I was doing to him, and you shouldn't feel like that in any relationship, and especially in marriage. And like, and the kids, that they never knew if our voices raised a little bit, if this was the time we were going to divorce. And it put this tension in the family, and it was, walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around, and like never a dull moment in a negative way. Weekends used to suck because we were all home time, and it was never a healthy thing, because and when it's toxic, you don't always resolve things. And so you yell, and then you stop talking about it, and then it comes up again, and it's just like this pile up. And it made my relationship with my husband very roommate or acquaintance kind of. And with that, like, it even further than my house family. It's toxic behavior with my mom, and then with my sister, and then even that, like, I wasn't honest with my dad, and all of that is purely my addiction. There wasn't anything healthy going on in my life in my active addiction, but I made sure that I feathered up, I fluffed things up enough to make it look like it. But I started going through like the healthy family dynamics and then unhealthy. Man, were we unhealthy. We were. And there's things we still work on, and that's okay, because we're working on it, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But when it comes to like holding grudges, or which is that was easy to do. You let someone down so many times, they're not going to let go of it. It's more than holding a grudge, really. It's and yeah, so like, but then now it's like a sense of belonging. I can talk about my feelings. I can be wrong, and it's okay. And it's not me and the kids against my husband. It's me and my husband, not against the kids, but like we co-parent. It's not like it's,
What?
yeah, it's not like well, I tell the kids all the time, you got to ask your dad too. You can't just ask me. And because I'm still a sucker, and I need that voice of reason still. And so, it affected my family more than I think I really acknowledged when I got clean, because I just focused on me, and which is important, very, very important. But to see it now and to fully work on my family and the ways that it functions, so important to me. Like I said, that and we're not perfect, but we're definitely on the right track. And I think perfect sounds pretty boring. So, there's got to be a little spice in life, I think. So I'll leave it there.
Brandy says nobody's perfect. I'm pretty close though, right? That's what she
Yeah.
says. That's what Brandy said that on here before. I remember that.
I used to be conceited, but now I'm perfect. So.
But I'm pretty damn close though. I'm pretty damn close.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. Pretty
I
close.
love that.
I love you, Brandy. I love you. That was a beautiful answer. Thank you for getting us kick started on that. Mr. Milan, how did your addiction affect the dynamics in your family overall?
Ooh. Well, I would say that in a lot of ways it controlled it. Like it didn't really just affect it. I was making some points here while Brandy was talking, because I was like, man, there's so much, and I, like Like I always felt like I was making up for something almost the
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Like
Oh
almost the
wow.
Yes.
whole time
Yeah.
I was
Being
and what that created was like this people pleaser situation where it was like I always feel like I owed something for the last bout of chaos,
Oh, man. Yeah.
anger, whatever like the list was. The list was long. The list was long, and I never felt like I had a balanced, right. Like even when I was feeling like I was pretty awesome for a while, I was unawesome often enough. You know, I used to say I had the
Yeah.
90-10 rule. I was amazing 90% of the time, and 10% of the time I sucked so bad you wouldn't even think it's the same guy, you know,
Yeah.
but those scars run deep, you know, and inside my addiction, I feel like I was distracted and not present, you know, like constantly wanting something to end so that I could go and have my time. You know,
Yeah.
like it wasn't being present and it wasn't cherishing the moments, you know. It also destroyed the unity in our family. Like, you know,
Hmm.
we were never united because I was never really on everybody's team because I had wrecked the trust, you know, and
Yeah.
looking at it now through like that First Corinthians 13, there was no genuine love occurring. I was not acting loving. There was so much that was like just not real. There was so,
Yeah.
you know, and then it was like I felt like near the end that I had made myself absent long enough for them to be fine without me. You
yeah,
know,
it's
like they
tough.
used to resent me not to
That's scary
doing
too.
certain
Very
things
scary.
with them. And then it was just like I wasn't getting asked anymore. And I was grateful
Yeah.
for it. I was grateful for it
Yeah.
at the time. Like I was like, great, I get a break. And they don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Like they don't care. And it wasn't that they didn't care, it's that I made them not care. Right?
That's,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
you
man.
Yeah.
know, uh and and inevitably that not feeling like I wanted to be there, it really, I think, made them feel second and unloved in ways. You know, like absolutely just like not the apple of my eye if my eye
Yeah.
was just wanting to get high, right? Like for sure. And then I think another thing that occurred was I basically became the scapegoat for other people's happiness or unhappiness.
Mm.
And and it was like at the time I felt like I couldn't contest that because of what I had done. You know, like, I
Yeah.
mean, because if I looked at it objectively and somebody did to me what I was doing to other people, I would fucking hate them. I really would.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
resent them and hate them so much. So
Yeah.
it's like, you're saying I made you unhappy by doing that? I buy it. I made
Yeah.
myself unhappy by looking back at it. But at the time, it was like rock on. Like, but
Yeah.
so it's like, you know, that's really left a big hole for them to fill on their own with responsibility now, and that's a big part of problems that are
Yeah,
occurring.
man.
And I think that's it
And,
for me. But I
and you
love you
think
guys.
about it, you think about it, especially when you've got kids involved, or you are the kid, like, what are we showing them? Like, is this
Yeah.
normal? This dynamic of how my parents communicate and deal with things, like, is that
Hmm.
really how it goes? And like I say, like, I'm not grateful to show my kids recovery, but like I'm grateful to show myself or show my kids a functioning, healthy relationship. It not perfect, but you know what I mean? Like the dynamic of a healthy relationship. And it's important because they do see it all.
We didn't actively fight and insult each other a lot, but friends of mine who did, like, I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm like, you guys need to fucking break up. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
just teaching them to fucking tear apart their partner and that it's okay to say the worst
Yeah.
things ever and scream at each other. I'm like, that is a really horrible lesson for them to go
Yeah.
into adulthood with.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we didn't do that either. Just thank God we didn't, but the coldness
Mm,
is so big. So
yeah,
yeah, I just had to touch on that too.
yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love you both.
Mm,
You
love you
know,
guys.
I love this. I love this whole platform, this whole podcast, man. It's like I'm just get juiced up for this shit, man. You know, whether it's something I love talking about, whether it's something I hate talking about, because I know I'm going to learn
Yeah.
something and get something out of it, man. I'm just blessed to be here, man, and grateful. So, how did my addiction affect the dynamics in my family? Um, yeah, you know, this is why I wanted to talk about this because it didn't just destroy me, like it reshaped the entire structure of my family because um you know, family, you know, we're blood in, blood out. You know, family is family. You come up knowing, you know, for most people, you know, family is where it's at. You gotta
Yeah.
hang with family. You gotta protect family. You gotta be there to be there for family when they're down. They pick you up, and vice versa. It's just like you grow up knowing that family is where it's at and where you're going to be hanging your hat for the rest of your life. Hopefully, you're going to have people that you know from day one all the way to day zero. You know, to the last day you're here. With that said, um, everybody around me was forced into different roles that they never were thinking they were going to have to be in because of my addiction, because of the chaos that I created in their lives. Um, they had to all go their own little way, and when I was really thinking about it, man, like each one of the people in my family, you know, had their own way to combat this situation, right?
Yeah.
You know, you had some people that tried to rescue me, right? Mom, you know, all these people trying to rescue me, man, and trying to trying to just do, you know, rescue me, do whatever they had to do to keep me alive. They didn't
Yeah.
even know what the problem was, didn't even know where they wanted to send me, but they wanted to send me.
Yeah.
And you know, they bail me out, give me money, made excuses for me, would just kind of roll with whatever I was saying because I couldn't be my son, right?
Wow.
And at that time I thought I was getting away with something too. You know, as I look back at it, and to that point, some people might not have known or certain things, right? But um I thought I was getting away with something. You know, I had other people
Mhm.
that were acting like nothing was going on.
Yep.
Like there's what's going on? Another day. And what I realized looking back, doing a little work on myself, is like they were sick too, you know, because of me.
Yeah.
You know,
100%. 100%.
this thing is contagious. You know, in terms of that, it is very contagious, and it does affect our family. And they were sick, you know, in their own way, trying to hold me apart while I was trying to hold me together, while I'm just steadily just killing myself right every day, burning it down, and they're trying to build it back up a little bits at a time, trying to get me going. And then they were fighting a war they couldn't win. You
Trying to
know,
carry the addict.
trying to carry the addict, man, trying to carry the
Yeah.
addict. They couldn't handle watching me self-destruct. I think about it now, like when there's people that I love that are doing inactive addiction, I'm sitting here with all the answers, right?
I
Like
know.
come to meetings, come to meetings. It's really hard to see somebody go to themselves, you know, really kill themselves like that and go out like that, knowing and they're not answering your phone calls, and you've got something that can help them. Bro,
Yep.
that's really, really tough, guys. That's one of the toughest things that I deal with now. But looking back at it, it's one of the things that really hurts my heart, you know, deep. It's one of the things that keeps me clean today, though. You know,
Yeah.
keeps me clean. That thought keeps me clean, just like you know, your husband, Brandy. You know, you're not gonna have another one of those parties where like, hey, we're high and we're going to a party and everything's chill. Like it's like another day. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So the emotional toll on everybody involved was just way too much to bear. You know, I mean, my family carried all that shit. That the disappointment, anger, shame, heartbreak. You know, watching a loved one go down. You know, you know, we all are special we're all magical motherfuckers, Brandy.
That's right.
But like we all have our special things. Like I was an athlete growing up, man. I played basketball. I could have, you know, I went to college to play basketball. Like I had, you know, I had a good. The people were like, bro, he's the one. You know, my dad's like, that's the one. He's the guy. That's the one. You know, that's the one. And I was the number one son. Like it was just had all these dreams and hopes and I had everything paved perfectly for me, man. My mom loved me growing up. My dad, obviously, there's a father dynamic that comes into that, which we'll probably get to in the questions. But overall, man, it like everybody was affected differently. They were all sick. Some of them didn't even know it. Some of them didn't even know until I got clean what the hell was going on, but they realized why they were feeling certain feelings. You know, my sister had to kind of just distance herself from me. And bro,
Yeah.
I love my little sister, man. We still have kind of communication issues where it's a little awkward sometimes, but that's something I'm making up for today. It's something where I continue to do better every day. And that's where like consistency comes in, clean time comes in for me, because my family knows when I come to the table, I've got a little like 4 years under my belt, man. Like
Yeah.
we can at least get a little bit of that benefit of the doubt back as you want it, as you arrive to the show,
Yeah.
and it's unpredictable, but it's beautiful, being able to get that back, because a lot of people, I didn't think I could get any of that shit back, and you can. It's about how you live today. You can really make these relationships back, and you can make them even better than they were to begin with, if you do it the right way. So that was a beautiful answer from all y'all, man, and I love y'all, and I need y'all in my life, and thank you for being part of my family, man, that I've chosen. This is my chosen family of love, man. Y'all are born from love, man. Y'all this.
You see this?
It,
yeah.
This is for you.
I love you, man. I love you, bro. I love you, man.
It made me think about one of the things that I read was like when we're in active addiction, or the dysfunction of it, is like emotionally held hostage, and one person's problems dominate the whole family.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
man, yeah, and
they don't
family
have a
members,
choice.
they don't. And the thing is, when I talked to my husband afterwards, and like it was a touchy subject, but it was like you enabled me, and he's like,
yes.
What do you mean? I was like, you never kicked me out. Like there were consequences, and like it was like a huge thing, but it was never like his love is enabled me. I'm so grateful for it. And
like you're blaming
I'm so
him,
grateful,
right? You're blaming me, like come on, it's tough.
Right. So
really
it is hard, and that's how much they carry it for us. Like you're saying, like last time my husband caught me was we went to a 4th of July party, that very next moment, as a happy couple.
Nothing to see here. What's going on, guys?
Man.
Normal day. It's tough,
right?
Man. It makes me want to cry, man. It makes me emotional.
I know.
Man. Makes me extremely emotional,
that's why
man.
I love this topic so much, because there's so much that I know for myself, and I'm sure you guys are with me on it, like that I put my family through. Like that's like I got clean for myself. I stay clean for my family and myself, but like the stuff that I put them through, and like I don't ever want to see my husband's face again after him catching me.
No.
Like it breaks me. It took me like 2 years to be able to talk about it without crying.
Yeah.
And
this recovery is precious to me, man.
Bro,
and my expression of gratitude for it is working like fuck on my program every day.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Stop playing with bears, though, Malone.
One with nature.
I'm
man.
sitting here crying. That's so funny, man.
He's like our bear wrestling friend.
I got here this morning. He's like, "Hey, I saw a mom and a daddy bear." Like, I'm like,
mom and 2 cubs.
I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna log out and log back in and act like you didn't just say that, man. We'll pretend this didn't happen."
I bear snuggler. It's gonna be my new shirt.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous, man.
Yes.
Give me a bear hug. A say on the back.
Right. I love that. Love it.
Love y'all.
Okay. I'm. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
On, right? Okay. How does your recovery support your family's healing process?
Woo. Well, I think one of the things is first of all that I'm learning patience. You know, like, I mean, inside my addiction, you guys know it, man. Like, how was your patience for getting the drugs you wanted? Were you into waiting a day?
Oh, right.
but you know, like what I realize is that lack of patience was everywhere in my life. Like it was like that compulsion, obsession, disorder, like was everywhere. It was like everything had to be now. Part of it was because if I didn't get something or finish doing something, I would forget what the hell I was doing, but, so like now I feel like I have patience. I feel like I'm learning about peace, like creating an environment of contentment and peace. It's like I feel like, maybe they don't, but I feel like I'm asking much less of everybody around me all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like mostly I'm just asking for the space to be me, and I feel
self-sufficient finally.
But I feel like, And then also too, one of the things I do believe is that service starts at home. And
Mm-hmm.
like I
Facts.
think I would say much more frequently, I'm looking either to see what someone needs or actually asking them. You know, um, it's like my thing for today was how can I heal my relationships? It was kind of inspired, like my two-way prayer today. But and one of the things was, where was it? Give people the benefit of the doubt, but then also, respect, not expect in the moment with them.
Yeah.
And that one for me is just, that is the hinging point on acceptance of them, you know, and so that I tried to couple with more frequent gratitude. Like I try to think of nice things to say to people, especially when I'm not feeling it. And
Yeah.
like, because it's like, if I go on a negative spiral, man, there's going to be not nice stuff coming out of my mouth. I know it, and so it's like I kind of got to reframe it. And I realized shortly into recovery that it was like, okay, they gave me so much time. They gave me so much time to pull out of this. Like, I mean, I really feel
Yeah.
like so many other people lost their spouses, lost access to their children, like in a way that just didn't happen in my life. And so it's
Yeah.
just like, just because I have had this like real turning point in my life doesn't mean that they even saw a problem with themselves. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
even if I want us all to grow and evolve and be this fucking amazing recovery
Yeah.
family, like, they're like, that wasn't me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no, like, they're not doing a step four, you
Right.
know? And, and,
Hmm.
and so then it's like, how much acceptance is there if I start taking their inventory? Like, and it really just, so it bounces between that acceptance and me fighting to not take their inventory, you know?
Hmm.
And one of my favorite things about doing that two-way prayer and reading that First Corinthians 13, man, is keep no record of wrongs, because even
Yeah.
one is a record. And so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying. I'm trying
Yeah.
every day to deepen that love and deepen my surrender, because a deeper surrender, a more complete love will create a healthy environment for a family. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I second that. I second that, man. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful answer. Whose question is it to me? Is it to me?
Brandy asks you
Yeah,
now.
to you.
Thank you.
How does your
Yeah.
recovery I was waiting for that. How does your recovery
Sorry.
support your family's healing process?
It's a beautiful question. Yeah, man. It's really given my family and me something that we didn't really have before. The first thing that comes to mind is stability. It's given some stability to the boat, in terms of like me and my dynamics with the family and them, personally, and as it relates to the family in general, as a whole, right? Because there's a lot of dynamics that go on with that. Um, I was so unpredictable. Actually, I was more predictable in not showing up, right? It's like the
Yeah.
unpredictability, and then I would just say I was going to show up because I wanted them to have some hope leading up to it. I just didn't want them to be, heartbroken for 3 weeks leading up to the party. I wanted them to be like, Andrew's going to be there, Andrew's going to be there, and then of course I wouldn't be
Yeah.
there. And that's sick, man. That's sick. When you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be there, yeah, I'm gonna be there, and then it's like and then again, and this is the thing about addicts, like it's
Or when
not
you
that.
do show up, it's like, fuck.
Right, right. Like, why
Yeah.
even do that to yourself?
Yeah.
But the thing is with addicts, and what I found is like, it's not that we don't show up, like, it's that we don't show up again, like, and again, and again, and again, and again. Like, we do that shit over and over and over. And if you've been a drug addict for years and years and years, talk about those behaviors. Bro, we've done it so many times, most of us can't even count. the amount of times we've done shit like
Yeah.
that. They talk like I was the maybe man, but I was literally more than that. I wasn't gonna show up. I wasn't gonna be there. In the height of my disease, I was not. I would not be there, whether I told you I was gonna be there or not. And then if I was there, like I said, I wasn't there. Right? If I'm there,
Yeah.
I'm completely out of like not thinking about being present in the moment with my family at all. Just doing damage, damage, damage. Like why was I even here? Now I gotta reel back from this now because I did show up,
Yeah.
half-assed. So I was sick, man. Still sick. Still sick. Um, I can be consistent today. There's something really special that happens when you add consistency to this mixture of the 12 steps of service, of fellowship. Man, there's something really special that happens because um, one or two bad days can really put our mind. Keep it on me again. Like it puts my mind in a dark hole where like I'm already in this hole now. So now more negative thoughts can kind of stem out from
Yeah.
that, right? It's not just like a little thought. It's not a thought now. It's more of a feeling. It's more of a
Yeah.
I can't get out of the hole now. I've got to use my support network to help get me out. I've got these layers that of protection, right? That's y'all. Y'all are my layers of protection. I've got the blood family. I've got y'all. Got the people I've chosen to surround myself with. My, therapists, whatever, doctors for the physical part. There's a whole. This is not just one. We're not just don't have just a problem with a certain drug. You know what I mean? That's what I
Mm-mm.
thought I did. I
Yeah.
thought I had a problem with a certain drug or two or three or four.
Right. It's
And
different times, different drug.
right, and then at the height of it, when my body stopped working, man, I had like 6 or 7 in there. I didn't even know there was. I could do. They have a 6 or 7,
Yeah.
8 panel drug panel tester. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know what other drugs there were. So, um, it's a beautiful thing to be able to live every day. The anti of that, knowing that I'm waking up craving fellowship and connection with my family, with community, with y'all, and it's the thing that wakes me up in the morning, not drugs anymore. I don't wake up
Yeah.
craving drugs in them anymore. But I used to need drugs before I got up. Before I'm starting to like operate, I needed it, or like don't even
Yeah.
like I'm turning my phone off. Even when I had my fucking
Yeah.
drugs, I'm like turning the phone off because I got my drugs now. Leave me alone. So it's
Right.
it's it's messed up, man. We thought we had it going on. We have shit going on. So how bad's
Well,
that? I
just
got off
like,
on one.
just no, that was great. Just like it made me think about what Milan was saying, like when your family just stops asking you to
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
It's like you go from just like not showing up to just not getting
yeah.
asked.
You're
And
offering to go, and they're like, "Okay, all right,
yeah,
yeah,
right. They're
we'll
like, you're
see you
funny.
then. We'll see you then, big
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, we got this.
We got this."
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And it made me think about also like, I had to realize this when I was in treatment that like my kids didn't miss out on time with me. I neglected them. Like I was with them all the time. And I neglected them. And that's deep shit, really, because
mhm,
that I'm like, I was a present mom, but were you present? Like, were you? And I think I still think about that 4 years later, like, like I neglected them. I don't like, I'm not gonna get down on myself about it. Like it's, if anything, it's uplifting to acknowledge that and to be able to not skim over what I was doing. I'm like, I was a sugar coated hot mess when I got there, like I could sugarcoat anything. It wasn't that bad, like, why, I still did this and that.
You're a
So, okay.
fluorescent cloud.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So how does my recovery support my family's healing process? Uh, Living amends is a real thing. It
Mhm,
really is. And you've said I'm sorry so many times, and amends isn't. I mean, sorry isn't amends, anyways. I gotta do things differently, and man, my recovery has helped my family heal so much. But the thing is, when I got home, like before I even really like had like deep recovery, like how I feel like in my, my spirit and stuff, like I knew what it was, but I wanted to like be like, I'm clean now, so everybody should be fine. So like, I don't know why you're still tense. Like I haven't used in 28 days. Like, and that's just not how it is in general anyways. But our families, they heal, and they heal without the support that we have. When it comes to these rooms and stuff, like I really wish maybe a normie would pick up the 12 steps and just
Aliens.
yeah, right. Just do it. Just go and do it and see what you get from it. But with it, it's like the changes that I've made in my life with because of my recovery and how serious I take it. Like it comes before everything. And though my drugs came before everything, it was masked in a way. So it wasn't like, it did come before everything, but this is like, everybody knows this. My recovery is important to me. It is my life, really. But it's because it's given me the life that I have. But with it, it's like, I'm able to communicate differently. And as much as it's like, at first, like, my husband in particular, any conversation after I got clean, it was the same as before I got clean because it just not enough proof, not enough, like I can say whatever, but like to see it and to like me react to things differently, me showing up, me, being present, being, working on being responsible. And and I had to stop controlling his healing. And same with with the kids too. I had to stop telling them or expecting them to heal in a certain way, in a certain pace. And every time, I would, grow a little more and more, uh, they would too. And maybe I didn't see it right away and they didn't see it right away either, but my recovery has mended my family like I never thought could be. And like my husband and I, we have oh, I just ripped my earring out. We have conversations and we disagree on things. That's totally fine. That's normal. And but it's different the way that we go at it now. It's different. Like I think of him, and when I make a decision, he thinks of me when he makes a decision. And I've been able to, my recovery has been able to allow him to let his guard down, and be comfortable in his home, in his relationship. And that's huge. Like my husband he had some heart issues when I was in active addiction. And like what we do, like physically affects people. And like he hasn't had a heart issue like since then. And like he had to have a monitor put on and everything. And I truly, truly believe,
Wow.
I'm not a doctor or scientist, that it was the stress and the heartache that I was putting him through. And and so for him to be able to put that guard down and trust me, like I feel like a husband should trust a wife, like that's my recovery. My recovery's done that because Brandy can say whatever. Brandy has said whatever. But my actions and the tools that I've learned on how to communicate my feelings, when to communicate them, the fact that I should, because like Milan, like you were saying, like I was always making up for something. Like everything I did was in like, I was always making up. Like yesterday, my husband's, so he's going out of town and he had to let the credit card company know. And so he called them and like got online and did whatever. And it was so funny. I was like, man, for a split second, I got super nervous. And I was like, wait. I
Well,
don't know, I was even
are they
nervous
gonna drug
about.
test me? Are they gonna piss test me?
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
shit.
like, what if I be like, have I been? Well, I'm like, have I been using it? No. Like, I use it for gas only. It's the one we use for gas. And I'm like, wait, I got nothing to feel guilty about. Like this
Get your disease, like, bro, I'm still back
amazing.
here, yo. Your disease, like, yo,
Yeah.
can I get a little
Yeah.
love? Can I get a little love back here?
Right. And like, thinking about how I felt in that moment, he doesn't have to worry about that either. Like if there's something that I mean, obviously times like I'd rather just like tell you afterwards. It's not like if I'm like, yeah, okay, I did buy that. I did, sorry, it was stupid. But I have no problem admitting it now. Before I would find a way to be like, well, I got this from somebody. I bought it a long time ago. Remember I told you about it?
I bought a homeless guy some beef jerky. I swear, I bought a homeless guy some beef
Yeah.
jerky, man. I swear.
So many, I mean, it's just like, so for him to be able to, let his guard down and not race thoughts of like, am I saying is real? And but that's because of my recovery. Like I've been able to give him the space that didn't know I needed to give him, because our families have to heal too. They really, really do. And it's not the same rate as we do. And it may not be as deep as we do, but it'll happen and it's there. It's an important part, and I'm grateful that after I got clean that we were not even like, still a good couple. We're a better couple. We're better than we were before. And doesn't always happen like that either. I've seen people, it's the dynamic changed. And either they were both clean, it just wasn't the same. And then with my with my daughter, like I've said here before, like I didn't go through the steps with her on her self-harm or suicidal ideation, but I did. And when it came to my tools to help her, were the steps, were everything that I've learned to not use drugs and to not act on my addiction. I worked with her with it, and my recovery has saved my daughter's life. And
Oh yeah.
and like that's something I don't even know I could ever be so grateful for. I'm so proud of her because I don't know, that could be like a whole other podcast. Like it is an addiction. Self-harm is an addiction. And it's that the release like we look for when we get high. And and then my son, he's like he was oblivious to everything, but there's things that I don't know if it would be healing really, but like he would say, oh, well, you'll get mad about that. And my husband will sometimes too say stuff like that. And I'd sit and think like, I don't react like that anymore. Like it's what their mind goes to, because I was like that for so long that like my husband said something, I don't remember what it was like last week. And I was like, I don't remember the last time I did that. Like, but it was still this memory of his, like, this is how you've reacted like it's for, but I just don't I don't react like that anymore. And, but I own it when they say it. And I just remind them, like, I try not to do that. And, but like, they've all healed in ways that one, they don't even know that it was damaged, and that it's almost like a release in a sense of like, okay, it's not chaotic. And then also like, yeah, recovery is what I've learned in recovery has helped my family so much, so much. And it's one of those things I don't know if they'd realize it unless it was gone, unless the recovery, my actions started acting out again, then they would probably realize, wait, like this isn't how we act. And I hope to just continuously grow in my recovery, obviously, but with my family, and allow them to grow at their own pace. My husband and I are totally different when it comes to any type of healing process. I'm a talker, he's not. And so I have to like he's proud of me and he doesn't do a good job, but like I'm like, you see this back? I want you to pat it, please.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask both of y'all real quick. Did you one of y'all family attend Naranon or Al-Anon meetings or?
My daughter
No.
tried to go to a couple at that AA conference when we went there, and it was weird. They were all like closed meetings for members. And it was like,
What?
and she was like, she hadn't gone to one before, so it was like she didn't have the credentials to get it. It was stupid.
That's weird. Yeah.
I've had other ladies, kind of tried to, or be willing to kind of talk to my wife about it, and she's just not ready.
Yeah.
She's not ready.
Yeah. My
You know?
husband's the same way. When we did the one-on-one when I was in treatment, he tried so hard to avoid it, tried to get my sister-in-law to do it. And I'm like, because he's just not, it's hard for him to talk about.
Yeah.
I would love to get him on the podcast sometime, but
Me too.
it's
That'd be
just
cool.
it's so hard for him to express stuff like that,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
can. And I will always plant that little seed, and I get him in here because I think our family's perspective
My
is
wife would be really
important.
reluctant too. Maybe we could get the Reluctant Partners
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. The RP 1, 2, 3.
Right?
Let's do it.
Right?
But yeah,
Yeah,
they have
I
their
mean,
own
I'm all
set
about
of
good
literature. They have
therapy.
their own books. They have their own
Yeah.
set of books.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I
You guys
went
should put one on the bookshelf.
I went to 2 Al-Anon meetings with my daughter at that conference, ones that were open. And
Yeah.
it was interesting.
Yeah. They
I
have
don't know.
readings, and they have like readings at the beginning, or how does that work? Or they
Yeah,
just
like
kinda...
they have their own book, and it's kind of like, most of the premise of their book was like they can't change us, and they've got to come to
Mhm.
terms of acceptance with us, right?
Yeah.
And and so yeah, I mean, Yeah, I didn't have a chance to look at their book, right? It was just, but
I didn't mean to get off on it.
yeah,
I just wanted
no,
to
No,
ask.
that's
yeah.
it's a good question.
Okay, so
Right.
Andrew,
Yes. That's my name. Don't wear it out.
old rules like rescuer, enabler, rebel must give way to new identities built on honesty. Which old family roles have you outgrown in your recovery, and which family roles have you grown into?
Mm,
Wow, that's a great question.
it is.
Yeah. So, when I tried to be I tried to save Captain Save a Soul, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what we call
Right.
like. So, I was just trying to save the world, all the meanwhile just burning mine down, and I felt like if I was important to like one person at any specific time, like I was doing it. It's kind of weird,
Yeah.
like whoever I'm engaging with that day, as long as I'm like showing up for them or whatever, I was pushing through it. But all the meanwhile, I remember hanging out with people or being with people in my family, knowing that I could extract certain things, money, pills, if they're, whatever it was, whatever, if they were, person that was older in my family and they had some pain pills laying around, like I would go over there and hang out with them just so I could sneak one or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick,
I know
man.
that.
Sick. I mean, it's just a tough place. It's a tough place to be stuck in again. And I was living in it for decades. It's just a really, really bad place. Because if we're not doing anything for ourselves, if we're not becoming an individual as a person, as an adult, as we grow, as we get older, um, chances are we're hurting people around us while we're doing whatever we're not doing, right? Whenever we're not
Yeah.
doing, as we sit there and tread water and we're just fucking wrecking ball through this, just going through life, just wrecking ball, just knocking shit down. We're really hurting those people around us. Um, everything that I was doing was coming from a place of an angle or some kind of hidden deception, something in there. And so, again, still have family members that have loved me through that, and now it's turned circle. I can show up. I can actually show up, man. When I tell my family I'm going to show up, I'm there. I'm there. I will show up.
Yeah.
But then there are times when I know I won't be there, and I'll say I cannot be there, or I won't be there for a certain reason. I can actually be honest today. That's a thing that it seems like a small thing. It seems like something very small, and just like, hey, yeah, of course you are. No, it ain't
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
It ain't like that for me. Don't assume anything with me, because again, my brain, being like the thing that controls my body and everything that I do, is got some problems, right? And but I've got a finger on it today. I've got a thumb on it. I've got some books that tell me a little bit about myself, tell me why I do certain things, why I act certain ways, and why it gets a little bad, and I hurt people around me. And now I can try to live to where I don't do that today. I try to live on the front side, so I'm not doing paperwork on the back side, right? We don't like paperwork. So I'll pass that.
Nope.
That's a good, quick, and easy,
Love
man.
that. Okay, Free Dell. Old roles like rescuer, enabler, rebel must give way to new identities built on honesty. Which old family roles have you outgrown in your recovery, and which family roles have you grown into?
Man, so the rescuer or like the hero, like always trying to fix everything. Though I was the one tearing it apart also. And then what else was it? Like the peacemaker, like I always had to, make sure everything was good. And again, I was the one tearing it apart too. It's kind of funny how that works out.
Mm.
Um, I mean, and this I still need to work on, the enabler. Just as long as, people weren't upset with me and everything was smooth, then it was okay. And definitely the scapegoat. I would own shit that I wasn't even my fault.
I used to do that
And
too.
yeah, like just to be like to show that I'm a good person.
To be
And
part of the family. To be part of it.
yeah, right,
Crazy.
exactly. And be able to yeah, it's super unhealthy. And I feel like today which I got to say, like a lot of those roles um were hard to not own anymore, not portray. Like even for my husband was like, wait, this isn't how you normally react to that. Is in like instead of speaking my piece, or
Concha.
not being afraid to share how I feel about something, I would be like, well, actually, I mean, I don't really feel like that would be okay. And that was hard for him to for him to be like, wait, you have an opinion?
Who is this
And like,
chick? Who is this lady?
yeah. uh and so, and like on like the mascot, I saw that too. Like mascot, like, I've got to be like goofy and funny, and like, I'm always, and I remember really chalking up a lot of my weirdness to like, it's just who I am. Man, take all
Woo!
those drugs away, and I'm a pretty boring person in a setting of people. Like I can still, be funny or what. I'm one of the funny ones, I like to think, but I don't have to be like, I don't have to be funny to hide the weird that's going on. And and I think that's why I consumed so much, to be like, well, that's probably I'm just funny. It's what it is. I'm a little bit crazy. And that was me. And like my husband, I was always like a people person, wanted to be around people a lot, and he was very antisocial. How the tables have turned. He likes to go places, and I'm like, well, how long do we have to be there for? I want to paint and sit with my dog and watch TV. And
Can I bring my rocks
so
with me?
yeah, right. Do they have? Can I like?
The
I'll
rock.
go. I'm like, look at those rocks. Those are nice
Can I
rocks.
have one of those rocks? Let me
That's a
paint it.
good painting rock. I just did that at my friend's house. I was like, I found a really good rock that would be great for painting in your yard. And it's funny. And so, but I'm working on, I was, I'm getting out there more, I guess. And then healthy, I feel like, I try to be more of a nurturer than an enabler, and like more of a guide than an enabler. Like today, I feel like I can be a role model for my kids. I remember saying years ago to my daughter that, which was hard to say, like, I don't want you to want my life. I don't want you to be like me. And that was hard to say, because even no matter what your career, whatever it is, like you want your kids to not always be like you, but to maybe want to be like you. Like you want to be able to mirror an image to them that they're proud of. And I feel like today, like I can be a role model, and a role model isn't like, I like not doing anything perfect. Like this is how I go through things, and I can be a provider today where I was not. I was sucking the life out of everything, rather it be like a provider of my household, or like financially. um of course my husband is the provider, but I put in I put in my little bit, and but I can today, and I do. And I was not a provider in a lot of different ways when I was in my active addiction. Like my role today is equal to my husband's. It doesn't matter who puts more money in the bank or whatever. Like my role is equal, and that is something that's completely changed, because it wasn't, I was a dependent, really. And I made it like that. And today it's the role, like it's we're one, my husband and I. And with that, it shows the kids differently. So that's where like the being able to be a role model for them, or teach them and guide them, and nurture them in a healthy way, is roles that I love to fulfill today. And I love to try to do better. Because I never did these roles even before, to try to be there. And the kids were really young when I first started picking back up my DOC. And so, but there's like, kind of off topic, but on topic. Uh, there's this one podcast I listened to an episode. It's fucking powerful, and but it was about like women and stuff like that, and it makes me think about like in these 4 years that I've been clean, like I have really grown into and growing into like the mother, the wife, and the woman that I know I'm supposed to be, and I'm meant to be, and I'm able to be. And I had a moment of thinking like, and I'm trying to like, prepare my daughter for life at 18. And like how I just think about like how much I could have done if I wasn't fucking off those 10 years. But I can't hold on to that, because I feel like I know I can still be that role model for my daughter, and help her, step into, real adulthood, like not living with your parents. I could do that today. Thank God I got clean, because I wouldn't be able to be that for her. I wouldn't be able to show, be this this role in her life that is sturdy, and firm and unconditional. Because though I love my kids unconditionally, when I was getting high, I would put that on hold so I could go do that instead. And so those are conditions for sure. So
Beautiful.
the roles can change, but I try to go, more towards the healthy ones. And I think today I can recognize if it's not healthy and do something about it. And so I want to always be a positive role for everybody in my family because I'm grateful for the life that I have today and that I shouldn't. I feel like there's so many times like we were talking about earlier, I would have broke up with me so many times. I'm so grateful that my
Mhm.
husband has stood by me, and I would hope that I would too. But so many times can you take it? And so, yeah, that's my answer.
It's beautiful, Brandy.
I love that. Woo! I know there's been so much change, eh? Like it's just wild. So,
I know.
Milan, which old family roles have I outgrown in my recovery, and which roles have I grown into? You know, I think that, due to the fact that I was a problem maker, I used to like
Mm,
consider myself like the fixer, which is a natural man instinct anyway. But I think that I've converted that more to supporter because I'm not necessarily the
yeah,
one making the problem, you know? I used to
yeah.
be like the victim, like the very prince of all pity parties. And now I'm
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
own
dun, 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 dun,
and
dun,
now I'm
dun.
owning my shit, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm literally like I am just not the victim anymore. And in fact I can't stand that. For
Yeah.
myself, like I won't come to your pity party, and I have some friends where they're going through a breakup right now, and I'm like, whoa, I'm like, I don't think I can be here entirely, and that's
Yeah.
really hard. Um, I used to be the scapegoat, for other people's feelings, but now
Yeah.
I'm accountable for my part.
Yeah.
Like I think that I'm like I'm not saying I have nothing to do with what's happening, but I definitely look at it and take credit for my part, not for their feelings. You know,
Yeah.
I used to be the chaos creator. Like I mean, I would roll in and destabilize the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Destabilize it. Good
yeah,
way to say it. That's
yeah.
so true.
And now, like I really think I'm kind of one of the peacemakers or
Yeah.
like the rock in different roles. And I used to be a big time antagonizer and I didn't see the damage in it, like teasingly so. And now I'm trying, and not successfully all the time. There's days where I'm like, whoa, he's antagonizing. But
Yeah.
I try to be the
Yeah.
uplifter instead of the antagonizer because I think antagonizing really it's like an unnecessary anxiety creation. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a very strange thing. And once I really looked at it, and I mentioned that from the chaos creator to the rock, but like in situations now where like we had a family member die this week, had other things going
Mm.
on, and and I was the stable one and sitting in acceptance, and that wouldn't have been the case, man. I would have been like poor me, pity party, off to the
Yeah.
races, right? And so now, and I'm trying to be the healer in the situation. Maybe not successfully, but at least with myself, and at least trying to support other family members in their direction. Like my daughter just took her 6 month chip on Wednesday,
That's so
and
cool.
Damn,
yeah,
come on, man.
yeah, and I mean, like that's like
I'm proud of y'all,
so
man.
to finish off, it's like I think that now one of the roles I am is the good example, which I was never
Yeah.
the good example before.
Me
Come on,
either.
Milan.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling. It really is.
Hmm.
It
Look at
really
the
is
smile
because
on y'all's faces. I'm
I know,
stoked. I'm
right?
so proud of y'all, man. It's such a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Such a beautiful
I
thing.
didn't feel like that when I was a kid, like my parents were great and all, but a lot of times I was like, I don't want to be like that. I do
It's
not
beautiful,
want to be
man.
like that.
It's beautiful.
So,
And we live vicariously through each other. All these stories we tell, man. We're like,
yeah.
if we don't have a certain thing, like I don't have any kids, I have a son, but I don't have any kids. So like, as y'all talk about your kids, like I feel that shit, man. I feel that
Yeah.
shit. It's
Well,
really
because you've
cool.
been that kid.
I
You've
have,
been
I
that
have,
kid too. So
I have, I have.
yeah,
So
we've been in. That's why I say like I was born an addict, raised by an addict, and I'm a recovering addict.
that's it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. You know what life
Right.
stands for, guys? LIFE. Love is for everyone. Ooh.
Love it.
Look, living in full experience.
Yes.
Learning is for eternity. Oh, come on, life.
I like that.
Yeah.
Love is for
I like
everyone.
it.
Love is for everyone. Living in full
Yeah.
experience. Let's go. Live life. Don't run from it.
I
I'm
love it.
sorry.
Yeah,
love
it's okay. I love it.
Okay, you got to ask Friedel now.
I don't want to.
Okay, then Friedel, you ask me.
Freedom. So what challenges have you faced in repairing family dynamics? Excuse me. What challenges have you faced in repairing family dynamics? Friedel?
Man, there's definitely been challenges. Um, and some successful and some not for sure. Like my sister and I still don't talk. And unfortunately, and I say this because I didn't want it to be like that. Unfortunately, we did use together, and because I was a very like top secret, I only used with I think 2 people. I counted myself would be 3. And and uh and so but and it was a toxic ending in our relationship, and I've tried to many times to heal that, and the best that I can. I can't force anything on anybody, and I can't say things to make somebody. I can't. My sister has this thought of how things are, and I can't lie to make her be like, okay, I knew I was right, so now we can heal, because that's really what she's looking for, and I'm not willing to do that. And it hurts when I've been able to, in a successfully positive move forward way with the majority with my family in general. There's that one that just I don't know it ever will. And it's hard to look at it like that. It really is. Um I want her to have what I have. And but it's the classic first step. You have to admit it. And if you're not willing to, then, and I just can't jump on board with it. I just can't. And so to not have her in my life is sad, but I'm moving towards healthy things. And that's a big one. And like there's things with like I love my mom more than I can express with words, but there's things that are just unhealthy that uh uh, our relationship has changed, and I don't know if it will ever be the way that it was or should be. Like I get super resentful when I see like happy family dynamic movies. Like Hallmark is horrible for dysfunctional families. Like I'm like, screw you, Hallmark. Screw you. Like
Bitches.
I
Hate y'all.
yeah, I'm like, whatever. It is not like that,
It's
but I
never
mean it
like
could
that.
be, yeah. And but all I can do is keep growing in a healthy way. And so whatever relationship I come across or I mend again, and I hope that it's a healthy family dynamic or dynamic, whether it be a friendship or whatever. And but it's not always the easy thing, and it's not always something that is like that's going to be good in the long run. Like sometimes like with like amends, for example, we make amends, but it doesn't mean your relationship is all hunky-dory and good. um there's things that uh like I've been able to do, and that have made a difference in relationships, that have been able to show up in things and show a different role, and it's been great. But there's always those ones that are going to kind of make me have to choose to keep pursuing a functional healthy relationship with somebody or not. And there's only so much that I can do. Like I can only control myself. I can only control my actions and how I do things. And as long as I know I'm doing the next right thing, and I'm working on a healthy relationship with somebody, uh, then that's all I can do. I can't make somebody heal or make somebody hear me or understand what I'm trying to say. That's a them thing. Like this is a me. And but it's like I think there's been a lot of positive in my life in that area that it's okay. You know, I can just try to do whatever I can do to work on something, but I can't be stuck on it. I just can't because I don't want to hold back whatever growth might be right in front of me. And you know, like talking about things that changed, like I don't know, this is even applied to your question, maybe what we were saying before. Like there's things that I can do today that I couldn't do before for my family, you know, and the ones that allow me to appreciate it. And it feels good to be able to do that and be accountable to somebody else. And yeah, so I'll leave it right there. It can be hard, you know, doesn't always work out the way we want it to, but if we do our part, I think that's what counts.
Oh yeah, I love you, Brandy. That was beautiful.
Gosh, you know, it
I love
astounds
you.
me to see how much everybody's grown in the last 9 months. My
Yeah.
goodness, like what, how our thoughts and processes were, and how we respond to things just in 9 months of
Yeah.
actively having questions and answers. Like, I'm just so proud of you guys, and you know, I love
Oh,
it,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're touching on too. That I've thought about this. This is doing way more than just like helping us out in our recovery. Like this is
Yeah.
making us
Oh,
better in our
man.
communication skills. This is making us better, like in what I do for a living. I, you know, when I'm talking to patients, I'm better at everything I'm doing because we're able to do this. This is pretty
Yeah,
Yeah.
special.
yeah,
I
this
don't
Yeah.
is
even
I
the
get a
thing.
lot.
I don't even think
I
we
get a
knew
lot
that
out of
that was
it.
going to happen when we started doing this. I don't think we knew all
I
the.
knew after one that it was going to help us heal. I knew that,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't have any idea how how it would teach me to organize my thoughts in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Yeah.
know,
Yep. And show up in just
Very,
a little.
very true.
because nobody
It's
wants
just
to be the
Yeah.
yeah. It's another
And
layer of my recovery. You know.
I got to get another notebook.
I have like a binder now, and I have like 3 hole
But
punch on my sheets.
Yeah.
I
I,
got all kinds
so
of shit.
listen though, this is
Yeah.
one of the things I want to do. I want to make a book called A Question a Day. and
Ooh.
and it's just like take a question and like just boom every day, instead, because they always see the books where it's a quote, but what about a
Yeah.
book that asks you a question every day?
I
That's
like
beautiful.
that.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
That's a
Hell
really
yeah.
good idea.
365 of them janks.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
them. I'm gonna have them.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, man. So I'm asking you, right, Milan?
Yes.
So what challenges have you faced in repairing your family dynamics, young man?
Well, the challenges I face, I think, first of all, the biggest ones are my own defects still getting in the way.
Yeah.
You know, um, like my ego is probably the biggest barrier for healing, and that ego just keeps, it's like the 3 steps backwards in so many ways.
Yeah.
And, patience is a big one that, like when I'm not acting from a place of love, acceptance, and patience, then I'm reacting and not responding to them, right? Um, I think probably one of the biggest challenges is time.
Mm.
Like I certainly um, I certainly can see a change. Like next Wednesday's my 2 year, and
Ooh,
next
come on,
Wednesday's
You're
man.
so
yeah, next Wednesday's
Come
my two
on.
year,
you're
and
so amazing.
You little recovery
what
nugget.
I see from 2 years ago is like, who the hell was that guy? Like, I don't feel
Yeah.
even remotely like the same person. But when I start to comparative analyze, like from the last week, I'm like, nothing's happening, you know? And, that saying, that comparison being the thief of joy, is one of
Yes.
the greatest truths in
I
the
love that.
world. Like, I swear, like it's just it's so true. And
I
so
can't stop smiling. I know that dude, Brandy. I know that guy.
Right?
I know. And so
You got to let
that's
us know where you're speaking. If you're speaking online or anywhere, you got to let us know so we can check
well,
you out.
Yeah.
no, like we're doing a podcast next Wednesday.
You should come to our home group and speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could see about that on that night.
I host that night
I,
too.
Oh yeah.
I, I know the speaker secret right here. We should do it.
Yeah.
Please do it. Me and Chuck.
Yeah, sure. That would be an honor.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
You heard it here, guys. I'm
You heard
stoked.
it.
That's awesome.
But I would like to say, Brandy, if you have Wednesday morning free, it would be fun to do a podcast on my second birthday.
I think I
Ooh.
do. I do have Wednesday morning free. Yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
Like maybe we could.
Excited.
Yeah, we could do that codependency part too. Even.
This is next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 days from now. 5 days.
I'm gonna be ready.
or
I'm gonna have my
6 days
Canada
from
hat. I'm gonna have my Canada hat on.
Whoa, whoa, look at
I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it. Look at that. He looks good in that. Man, you're pretty much Canadian. All I need is to be riding a moose.
Yes, sir.
Right?
An elk, riding an elk or a bear down the road, right?
Yeah. I'll lend you one of my bears. I'll lend you one of
No,
my
Yeah.
bears.
no, I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stay away.
I have no clue if I even finished that, and I don't even care. That was fun. That was
I
fun
didn't
enough.
mean to interrupt you, man.
No, like
That
I
was
think I
great.
was pretty much winding down. I'm good. That was fun.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love you guys, man. Y'all are so special to me, man. So what challenges have I faced in repairing my family dynamics? Well, the biggest one for me was patience. You know, I wanted, you know, I thought when I got clean, I thought I wanted it all to kind of happen now, you know, just as you want, you know, as an addict, we want it all now, you know, we want more now. And when we get it, it's not enough. And, you know, I thought the family dynamic would immediately change and I'd be welcomed back with open arms. And obviously you have to live those times to know that that's not the case. And you have to consistently come to the table and show that you want to change and you want to be better for yourself. And you have to act differently. You know, it's about a
Yeah.
consistent change in our actions here in this program. It says that in our literature somewhere. We have to
Living amends.
we have to consistently change our action. Exactly right. Living amends. You know, God's always watching. God's always watching, man. Do the right thing,
Yeah.
especially when nobody's looking, man. Just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. That's how we have to live. That's what this program is about. It's about doing the right thing because not only is it the right thing to do, but it's going to make you better. It's how we get better. You know, just one step at a time, one act at a time, we get better. And
Yeah.
so there was a challenge dealing with like the resentments on both sides, you know, the resentments from them, and then my resentments. And, you know, I have a lot of, you know, a few people that are really close to me and my family, you know, direct family members that I used a lot of drugs with. And then there are
Yeah.
direct family members that didn't have a clue that was happening in the same house at the same time, you know? And, so that was tough. You know, earning trust without demanding it, right? That's another thing for me. Trying to earn that trust without demanding it. That's another whole spin on the, like, I want it now. I've got to earn it. I got to earn it in how I show up every single day. And yeah, we're going to have bad days, but like, how are we going to react to those bad times? You know, is it going to be the same
Yeah.
old shit we used to do where we just get lost for a week or two? Or are we going to approach it and say, hey, look, I messed up, or this is what I can do to help? Are we going to act different? Right? We got to act different. You got to change one thing. It's everything, man. You got to show up. If you don't show up, you got to, you know, part of this, like working on our defects, is we literally, through the step work process, we work on the opposite of what we have problems with. Like, that's literally what we have to do. You know, if you're a liar, you have to tell the truth everywhere. Like, you have to program yourself to do that. And so with that being said, there was that shifting in family roles. You know, everyone was worried about me and making excuses for me. And then when I was acting the same way, you know, those people wanted to still make excuses for me, even though there wasn't anything to make excuses for. There's just a lot of weird shit that happens, and everybody's different. You know, like my sister has a different mentality than like my brothers do. They're from different states. Like, there's so many different things that go into it. And so that mixed with like what is it? Again, I can't fix anybody overnight. I can't fix myself overnight. This is a slow roll into it. It's about the way I live and the way I show up every single day. And now coming full circle, like it's like they expect me to act this way now. You know, if I were to act out of character like I used to, people would be like, "What's going on with you?" Not like, "There he is again. There he is again, man." Like, "What's going on with you? Are you sick? Do you need to go to the doctor? You know, what's going on?" Like I'm not just gonna be that person anymore. So I started getting lost there. I'm sorry, I'll pass that. I love you guys, man.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right.
No more sin. No more sin. Self-inflicted nonsense. S-I-N. Remember that.
Right. I like that. Okay. What steps are being taken to rebuild trust?
Ooh, well, there's 12 of them, first of all.
Ooh, I was gonna say that. That's
so
what I was gonna
true.
say. I was gonna say
That
that.
is so true.
Oh, yeah.
Silly man.
You know, part of what I see is in healing relationships. I mean, in my two-way prayer today, it was speak the truth and act honestly. One of the things,
Yeah.
you know, that was the trust destroyer. You know,
Mm.
I mean, it, those the lies and the deceptions and the getting found outs. You know, like when you say you
Yeah.
never want to see that face again on your husband, I don't want to see it on my wife. I know what that
Yeah.
face is. That face is reality shattering in their heart.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know how long that takes to fully come back. Like I honestly don't know. Like my fear is that that may never fully be able to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it can be good again, but it's like, man, it's never going to be like that smooth surface where you skate on it and you don't even ripple with your skates, you know?
Mm-hmm. The
Like,
Yeah.
garage floor. The garage floor.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Hit and hold.
yeah, but you know, so for me, it's it's living this program hard. It's living this
Yeah.
program. You know, like yesterday, uh, you know, one of the things is I was going out the door yesterday, and my wife said to me, she said, you know, thanks for taking your program seriously.
I love
And I
that.
was like, you know,
Beautiful.
I wasn't looking for an attaboy, but I'll take one.
I'll take that
You're like,
slap
right
on the
here.
butt. I'll take
Right
that
here.
slap on the butt.
I was like, I'm a little to the right because I
Yeah.
got this spot I can't reach.
Yeah.
Right.
Be like, ooh,
But
what'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say?
but you
Say it
know
a little louder.
there is really nothing but action and time that will heal that for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's
Those
it.
two things, man. It's like
That's it.
my actions and time.
That's it.
And
Things I must
and
earn.
and you know
Time.
and also acting loving. You know,
Yeah.
like all the time in the world can pass. I can stay straight, and if I am not acting with love, it's like we're stuck in this stasis of going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
because though the actions in addiction were really so much acts that didn't contain love. You know, so I feel that it takes love to reverse that.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
it for me, but certainly loving you guys like
Love
tons.
you too.
Love you.
Mm.
You hit on time.
That's a real good
Time.
one.
Things I must earn. Time. Time. And then this I must
I
experience.
like
Time.
that.
This I must experience. Those are my two.
I
I'm going
love
crazy.
it.
I'm going off on
You
this one,
are.
guys.
I like
Starting to get
I like a
crazy.
little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All
You are
right.
literally going to have a novel of an acronym, and I like
I
it's great.
know.
Like seriously, man,
It's on
it
paper.
is
It's on
like
paper.
what's his face there from Etobicoke? He's got no chance of keeping up Jim. He's
No.
got no.
Right?
Nope. Nope.
You could like cover a wall, you know, like
I
when it
might.
comes to it, like
I
yeah, when
just
they
might.
when you do a word from a word from a word, it's like
I just
yeah,
might. I just might.
I
I
love
love them.
that. I
I
love
love
it.
them. So
Okay, so how or what steps are being taken to rebuild trust?
I'm glad you asked about the steps, Brandy. STPES, solutions to every problem solved. And my new one for steps,
I
look, y'all are
love
about to
it.
freak out. Y'all never heard this one. This is amazing. I can't believe I came up with this the other day. Spiritual tools empowering progress. Ooh,
Wow.
bro, get off me.
That's
I think I just disconnected something.
I thought you were brushing it off.
No. Did y'all like that? Look,
That's good.
STEP, spiritual tools empowering progress. Are you kidding me?
I love that. You came up
Mm.
with that?
Or
Came up with
energizing.
that. I came up with
That's
that. I'm telling you right now. There's no. You'll never hear that. It came here. I'm telling you. I came up with that. I've been
I
coming
love
up with
that.
a couple ones here lately. I'm gonna blow y'all's mind. So in terms of like the steps itself, I'll kind of hit on that just because that's what my brain went to. It's been my lifeline, not just for staying clean, but learning how to live as a son, a brother, a friend,
Mm-hmm.
be who I need to be. You got steps 4 and 5, showed me the wreckage that I had created in my family, forced me to get honest about that harm that I did. Step 9 taught me that like an amends aren't saying I'm sorry to feel better. It's about taking responsibility for what I've done and showing
Yeah.
up through the change in my actions. I gotta show up, not talk, not show up and just run my mouth. Show up until I need to go, till they need me, right? Like I need to be able to show up today. And then I thought about tradition 1. Like that reminds me, it's all about unity here. It's all about unity here. Just like unity keeps our fellowship alive, like unity keeps my family connected today.
Yeah.
For because that's how I try to live today. So like with my family dynamics, the blood family that I have, but then then y'all got my bonus family.
Yep.
Y'all, like a whole nother subset of people and all over the world. I'm talking about all over the world
All
that
over the world.
that I love. Hashtag LLA.
That's
I
right.
love everybody, bro. I love everybody. And I have so many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful relationships with people all over the world that I could have never imagined sitting in treatment almost 4 years ago that I would be knowing people like, fuck, man, I know people all over the world. God, we know people in Poland. We know people everywhere,
Yeah. Right.
everywhere. And we all speak the same language,
Yeah.
recovery, right? And we all have the same last name, addict. Bro, we get
Yeah.
prayed out and we get prayed in and we love on each other and we give each other hope. We slap that shit on each other in these meetings, man, and it keeps us clean, man. And if you think you can't do this, man, just keep coming back. If you
Yep.
don't believe in God, keep coming back because I know He believes in you. If you're listening to this right now, God believes in you, man. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this, God believes in you. So keep coming back. And that's really it, man. I'm done on that. That's all I needed to
I
say.
love it.
I'm hyped up.
I read something that says if you are still breathing, God's not done with you. Like not done with you. Still has a plan for you. I
Ooh,
was like, oh, there
keep
we
keep
go.
that heart. Look, HOPE, heart open, possibilities endless. Y'all ain't heard that one about hope either.
Yes.
You ain't heard
Yes.
that
You're
one?
good.
You
You're
hear all these,
good.
you hear all the
You
hold on
got all
pain
these
ins.
words and yeah.
Look, you hear all the I got that picture graphic memory. You hear all the normal ones, hold on pain ins, hearing other people's experience is
Yeah.
what is another one? Escaping hell on planet Earth, but you never heard heart open, possibilities endless. Promise.
I love that.
Love y'all.
I do love that. Okay, so what steps are being taken to rebuild trust in my family dynamic and all of the above? A lot, and like you were saying, like steps, like literally every step has, and like to go off of that for a second, like you can work those steps on anything. It doesn't have to be just drugs and alcohol or
You
addiction,
should.
whatever. Yeah, there's like so much relationships. I mean, I've done it on sugar. Yeah, that's a whole nother
Your
podcast on its
daughter.
own. My daughter, yeah.
Come
There's
on.
so much that it can be done. But with the, being able to the steps that I feel like, outside of those that I could take is the being like doing what I say is a big one. Not just saying something like kind of you're saying, Andrew, like, I'll say, yeah, I'm going to be there. And then, like the day before, after 3 weeks of saying, yes, I'm not going to show up, so I need to do what I say I'm going to do and be accountable in a lot of ways that I wasn't before. And all these things, like I can say a lot of words, but it's those actions that are going to make a big difference because I didn't put any actions into my words when I was using. I said a lot of shit and I didn't follow through. So to be able to follow through, and do things differently than I had done so many times before, is huge. It's huge. Like, and building trust in my relationship. Like, I remember being super excited. It was like about, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that. Like, I have my own gas card now. Like, because it's not just it's a credit card, but I use it just for gas. But old Brandy would have used it for whatever, And even early in my recovery, it was still like, oh yeah, I got gas, and it wasn't gas, and it was stupid shit, but
You
it
like
was
wipe
like
gas
me
on your
just
hand to smell like
yeah,
gas.
Yeah,
You get
right,
home and you're like, look, smell my hand. It
right.
smells like gas.
You know,
Tell
I
you.
go to the gas station, I'll top my tank off and buy a bunch of stuff and be like, I got gas, and I didn't
So
even need
funny.
gas.
So funny.
And yeah, and at the time it was like my husband would look at the account quite often, and it's like today it's like I only buy gas with it, and when he looks at it, I'm not nervous, and so that's a huge thing, and and being able to like when it comes to like with my husband and the kids, the parenting part to it, I I think about what he has to say and he thinks about what I have to say. It's not like, I don't just go off of whatever it is and don't say anything to him or say something later. One thing I know I work on, I'm trying to work on is don't go through me. I'm not the middleman. Like, and not that it's only my husband's say, but you can't just get my say. Cause a lot of times I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And so it's important that we're treated it's equally. I don't want to be like the easier parent. I'd be the nurturer for sure, but not like that. But just the communication and I mean, living amends is a big one. I can't express that enough. But just doing what I say I'm going to do, and with trust, it's like I want to be able to know that my family, like I've heard you say before, Andrew, my family can sleep at night and
Yeah.
not worry about me. Like I sleep in my room now. I slept in the living room for so long because I wanted to do whatever. I fell asleep in the living room so much that I ended up making my bed out there every night. And now it's like my husband falls asleep he's a very light sleeper. And so I usually let him go to bed. I don't like it, but I let him go to bed like about an hour before me so he can fall asleep. Because when you have two people that snore, who falls asleep first is going to get a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
It's
being
funny.
so like wanting to be involved with things and wanting to be around my family it's a good way to build trust because I was I made it sound like I was giving them a break when I wasn't present. When it's like, no, no, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. And like my dad's getting older. That's what happens when we get older, right? Our parents get older, and my dad's got some health issues, so I've been helping him a lot. And my dad's always trusted me, but I would have never trusted myself in anybody else's stuff. And it doesn't matter if you're a little old lady or a kid or my husband or whatever. I didn't trust myself with people's stuff. Like I wasn't a big old stealer, but I swiped something here and there. Like, well, they're not going to notice this. And today it's different. Like I go with expecting nothing back. Like what can I do for you? What can I do for you today? And I hold that in my relationship also. And my kids, I'm like, what can you do for me today? Take out the trash. But it's that, that trust in me is important. Like I trust myself just for today. And I hope, I continuously work on trusting myself tomorrow, all the tomorrows ahead of me. And but it's important when the trust in your family dynamic is built back up because it just takes one to tear it apart. I never understood when my husband would say, probably because I didn't want to own up to shit, like if you lie about one thing, what else are you lying about? And I'm like, I swear that's
Facts.
it. And that was a lie, yeah. And so like when I first got clean and I was like working on the honesty thing, because it was hard. I thought I would just be I'd have nothing to lie about after I got clean. And that's not true. I had to work on it because my go-to was to lie because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And so like when I had told him about a credit card that I had, uh it was really hard, and he didn't trust me less afterwards because I told him about it. I waited a little bit to tell him because I was a little bit nervous and he was paying the bill anyways. And so I'm like, I need to be free of everything that is not honesty. And I was afraid the trust was going to be broken. And it wasn't because though it was a lie or or no information, didn't tell him about it, the trust was built by me telling him. It's being able to own our part, speak our truth, no matter what the consequences is. I've learned the more I do that, the less I have to do it because I'm retraining my brain to acknowledge consequences of things that affect not just me, but the people around me. And because it does affect them. You know, if I'm not doing something, you know, if I'm not being stable in my life, it creates instability in my life, my family. And so it's important. Trust is it's such a beautiful thing, and it can be so hard to gain back. And but it's possible. It's totally possible. And that's where, again, the living amends. And like my husband used to say, like, you know, because I ruined the word sorry, that throw a plate on the ground. Now say sorry. Well, the plate is still broken. So it doesn't mean anything if there's nothing, you know, being done about it. And so I want people that are to interact with me to trust me. It's important for myself, and not for not an ego thing, but because I know how I used to be. You know, I know that I wasn't trustworthy in a lot of ways. Like I would steal your shit and help you look for it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something like I remember first time I heard someone say that, I was like, oh my God, I did that. I've done that before. And you know, today it's like, I mean, of course, I'm not in those scenarios anymore, but I want to be trusted. And it's a huge thing for me because if people don't trust me and I'm saying things that aren't trustworthy, I'd rather check myself because, you know, not being honest was a huge part of my active addiction. And so today it's, I hold firm on when I'm being honest, and people trusting me is important. And so I'll leave that right there.
Woof.
Be looking for helping you look for your shit, and then your phone goes off in the safe that's locked.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ruh-roh.
That was I forgot
Ruh-roh.
about that. That was a great story. Man, the shit we did, right? Okay.
Okay. So I'm imagining I'm probably asking the last question, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I want to start by asking, do you guys know the difference between empathy and compassion?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Empathy is the ability to understand someone else's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Compassion is that coupled with the desire to help make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. You're not
Okay.
just putting yourself in their
Yeah.
shoes. You actually want to do something about it.
So family wounds, and this for you, Andrew. Family wounds need compassion more than explanations. How has empathy replaced defensiveness in your family relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's tough, man. You know, it's just been that natural order for me, man. Like I used to have all these really negative feelings because everyone was just in my way of doing drugs, right? Like everybody was. I was just always pissed off because I wasn't high enough. I didn't get enough. I didn't get high enough in that last whatever I was doing. You know, it didn't do enough for me. So then I was always running around here, like you said, like walking on eggshells, and other people were walking on eggshells too. But I would make people uncomfortable in their own house.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like I'm ratcheted up, and I didn't have enough time either in the bathroom, my room, or whatever. You're knocking on my door, you're asking me just a normal question, ask me something about my dog or something, but I'm pissed off, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't have enough time to do my thing and be as high as I think I need to be.
Yeah.
And I was just a really, really evil dude. It's really tough when I think about how I acted. Again, I'm making up for that now. You know, it's different now. You know, these little things that happen. I could be busy as shit, man, and so, like, and I'm not good at this every time. I'm getting better at this. Where like in a normal situation that I'm very hyped up about, or I'm very busy and I get bothered, like whether my girl calls me or like my stepson, it will hit me up 2 or 3 times because he has the phone and he just wants to talk to me and I'm very busy. Like I get that point where I want to like react to like, bro, like I'm not answering the phone for a reason, guys. Like, but then I back right up and I try to approach it with compassion because I realize I'm a different dude. That's that pause button that we have, that pause button, being able to step back and go, hey man, if I just run my mouth like my brain wants me to, Like, am I gonna have to do paperwork, or am I gonna have to like make up for this later? Like, because
Yeah.
I don't want to, man. It happens all like in a flash. And that's the beautiful thing about recovery is giving me, man, is being that pause button. It's not about pausing in that specific situation. It's about pausing in every situation and thinking
Yeah.
about how are people gonna react to me if I say this in this meeting setting as a trusted servant, like little shit, everything. I pause everywhere now. You know what I mean? Because it's about pausing and living life and making decisions the way you want to going forward, not about the necessity of like needing the drug and how I'm gonna make every decision based on me being able to get to that dude's house at 5 o'clock on the dot to get my drugs. Like that's what it was. That's all it was before. It was that I literally my work, everything got rescheduled around that meet time or whatever it was. Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised I'm alive, to be honest. I really am.
Right.
I really am. Some of the shit that I did and some of the close calls I had with timing and like flying 100 down the rope, it don't make no sense, man. God's got something in store for me, man. That's why I gotta lean into that. So I don't even know
Woo!
if that answered the question. I
I
love
loved
it.
it. I loved it. You were on fire right there. Okay, Brandy, family wounds need compassion more than explanations. How has empathy replaced defensiveness in your family relationships?
Man, I was just defensive all kinds, like like Andrew was saying, like I did some pretty shitty stuff, and like um I feel like I always had to defend why I did it, or defend why you made me do it, or a lot of self-centeredness, man. And how do you give empathy to somebody when you're self-centered? It's just like it's false. It's not real. You're just saying words you think they want to hear. And today with it, like I can I work on, I say work on because I'll probably work on for a while. Like I don't have to fix everybody. Like that's a big one. Like because I did that. Like I think you're talking about, like I did all the damage, and and I don't want to have to fix everybody for sure. We all own people that are on our own journeys, no matter where the source comes from. But I can hear them, like I can hear what they're saying, and instead of like you were saying, Andrew, like their feelings getting in my way. Like, okay, you feel like that now, next.
Yeah.
And and today it's like I genuinely want to know, and and empathize with them in that way, and not even like tell them what to do. One thing I've learned about my program is I like to give suggestions, like this is what I would do, or instead of like, well, this is what you need to do if you want to feel better, you need to do this. And I tried that at first because I knew what worked for me, and I'm like, do this. And that's not empathy at all. That's not sitting there and validating someone's feelings, because there's things that like when I got home, like everybody, it's happy I'm here, but like they're still sitting with what they went through. And like I was saying with that one-on-one with my husband, like he didn't want to do it, but he deserved the right to be able to express that, and acknowledge how it is I made him feel. And for me, and I remember the lady was like, you don't say anything, you can't give excuses, doesn't matter if you saw it differently. This is how he feels. Oh, fuck, that was hard. Because I was still trying to make up excuses. I was still trying to defend myself. And that taught me a lot. Like why am I defending what he's feeling? And so to be able to let them be heard and understand, like, your feelings are valid, because I made them all invalid. Like, you may be mad that I'm doing this, but this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm using. And yeah, like however you're feeling is irrelevant. And I make it relevant. And it doesn't mean I have to like feed into it, because sometimes we have to process our feelings and they're not always right the first time. And that's not just me. And so I don't want to go and tell my family, like, yeah, that was stupid. I don't know why you thought that at first. Apparently that's not a nice thing to do. But it's giving a space that I never gave before, and letting them heal in any way, or any like the way their process goes. It's not like an instant thing because I've made amends and I'm doing things differently. It doesn't mean it doesn't still affect them. I remember asking about like a year after I got clean. I don't think I've asked my husband since. Maybe, I don't know. But I asked him, I was like, "Gee, so do you forgive me for everything I put you through?" And like at this time, like he'd already said like he would renew vows with me, like we were moving forward, and he said no. And that was like that hurt. But I had
Yeah.
to let him have that.
Yeah.
I couldn't be like, well, you're wrong for not forgiving me. I haven't used in a year. And
Yeah.
I had to allow him to still feel that. And I was thinking about this before, like I feel like I did ask him again and he said he did, but I would
Like,
think I
bro,
would
you
remember
asked.
that.
You asked me. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
right, right. And it's something that it's like, and also like when it comes to empathy towards our family and them healing, my husband, so like when I broke my leg, he was my caretaker, and I was in active addiction. So not only did he resent me, he had to take care of me. And like I couldn't do a lot of stuff on my own. And so he had said one day that he has lost all empathy in general, and like he doesn't have empathy anymore. And it wasn't necessarily my addiction, but it was that whole long process with my leg. And I think it just really tore him up. And my sponsor asked me, she's like, "Have you asked him about that since then?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And I didn't, and I really chalked it off like, whatever, you're just being a dick. Everybody has empathy. And I'm serious. That was my thought until I spoke to someone else and she felt the same way. And her relationship's a little bit toxic. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a real thing. And, he hasn't really gained, I mean, he is empathetic, but it's like, when I feel empathy for somebody and it comes from my heart and my soul, and he knows it should, so he does, but he doesn't feel it like I think you're supposed to.
But I think that is mistaking compassion and empathy. Because, see, you're
Yeah.
talking about a desire to change, and empathy is
Yeah.
merely understanding. Like your husband has empathy, but maybe not compassion. And that was my big eye opener last week, was that it was like I have mistaken the two for being synonymous the whole time. But empathy only means understanding it. It does not mean having a vested
That's
interest
a
in it.
really good point.
And so, and that's why I asked that at the beginning, because I really
Yeah.
feel that for myself, it's been 9 days that I've known the difference, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
Thanks
that's
for bringing
Well,
it up.
and to like verbally know the difference, but actually know the difference is different because
yeah,
like it's like, okay, well, yeah, they're different these ways, but then when
mm,
you're like how me just talking about my husband,
mm.
to me, there's so blurred. But that's a very good point. It
How
really
many
is.
times have you been somewhere and someone's like, "I'm an empath. I feel everything," and it's not
Yeah.
necessarily that you feel everything.
Yeah.
Being an empath means you understand how others are feeling. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like a compassionate empath or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
And true empaths aren't out there talking in a meeting about their empath. They ain't talking about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're like, yeah, I'm an
Right.
empath. Like, come on, man.
no, they're like,
Well,
"Whoa,
because
I'm
it can
gonna
be
be."
uncomfortable
Yeah.
to feel everybody's feelings,
Yeah.
It really, really
But
can
that's
be.
it, though, is
And
that it literally doesn't mean to feel them. It means you understand them. And
yeah.
most people, my whole life, I
Yeah.
use that word incorrectly.
Yeah.
I like, yeah,
How do you define
I love
understanding
to learn
something
something
too?
new.
Right?
yeah,
Like when you're
Yeah.
fully wrapping, you understand
yeah.
something. People's definition of that's a little different. So
Okay, I know
Yeah.
you probably got a roll, so I'll say my answer pretty quick here. How has empathy replaced
you're good. Take
defensiveness?
your time, man. Take your
Okay,
time, bro.
okay, I didn't know. I just was like, whoa, didn't want
Take your
to.
time, young man.
Okay, well, so how has empathy replaced defensiveness in my family relationships? And so I think now that I understand that their feelings are theirs,
Yeah.
and that it's like the defensiveness for me occurred was because I literally felt responsible for all their feelings. And that another thing is that I'm changing in ways that affect them and our relationships and our
Yeah.
conversations and our moments. And I might not be responsible for their feelings, right? But I definitely can understand that what they're feeling, because I might have felt the same way as them before I've had that change. Or I might just understand that it might feel weird to change and to kind of
Yeah.
have the carpet pulled out from underneath their regular reactions. Like, we are very patterned creatures, you know?
Yeah.
And when somebody's like, okay, you do this and I do this and this is how we do it, there's a comfortability, even if it's in a shitty relationship, you know?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so when it starts to change for, in any way, like, growth is work. What does work smell like? Uncomfortable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I smell it. I smell it.
That's why they
and the
say
last
get
thing
uncomfortable.
they're like, the last thing they want is to be made more uncomfortable while we heal,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, for me, one thing that I have a great deal of empathy for is I understand that I've created a lot of the damage that exists in our relationships. I might not be responsible for all of it, but I can look back and be like, well, I'm a good 72.8% right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, our lives would not have had as many challenges, as many struggles, as many derailments, as many inconsistencies in loyalty, trust, love, everything. Like, those guys were not supplying anywhere near the damage that I was to this
Yeah.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, what I have to understand is that, like, this is my junkyard now. You know, like, it's me who has to start cleaning up first. And
Yeah.
and
Yep.
when I look around at the mess, it's because I Tasmanian devil spun through town, you know. And I think I'm gonna leave that there, man. I love you guys.
I love you guys.
This was
They're
this
great.
was a
This
journey
was
of,
really good,
like,
man.
a lot of love and pain and growth. Like,
Healing.
I felt a
Yeah.
lot of that through the different things, you know, like, it's kind of like step 4 in myself on my
Yeah.
relationships a little bit today. And it's
Yeah.
good. I'm doing a
Been
step
really
4
good.
right now. So it actually gave me a couple ideas of things that I want to address.
That's why we do this. That's why we do this.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna do my ending here. Look, I'm gonna
Yep.
leave y'all with some bangers. Y'all ready for some bangers? Look,
Bing
faith.
Bring
bang.
it.
Faith.
Bring it.
We're used to the finding answers in the herd, all that stuff. But how about this? Forwarding all issues to him.
Oh,
Ooh. Oh.
yep. I
I
like it.
started off by saying forwarding all issues to heaven, but we can't really say heaven in a meeting. So forwarding all issues to him. That's where I went with it.
Yeah.
You got
Listen
to
to
go
y'all.
him/her just for sexual
Him
content.
slash her, or yeah, or I'll just put what is it? What is it? What is that? The term that they use for all everybody? I don't know. I don't care. FAITH. Look. Fear ain't in this house.
Whoa. I like that one. That one's got, like, dance moves
Fear
written all
ain't
over it.
in this house.
Look, it
That's
ain't in this
so
house
good.
because fear whips faith, or faith whips fear's ass every time, bro. We talk about it all
That's
the time.
Dude, that's going to be a
great.
lyric and the name of a song.
Fear ain't
Oh
in
my
this house,
God,
right?
right?
Look, okay, so
Yeah.
then I got obviously the steps, solutions to every problem solved, but then I got this: spiritual tools empowering progress, bro. I'm telling
I
you, that
love
one's gonna
that.
go down.
Yeah.
I got 2 more for you. Fail, FAIL. What does fail stand for? First attempt in learning.
Oh,
What happens when you
Yeah.
fail? We rise. What does rise stand for? I got this right now, bro. This is a good one. This is a good one. Renewed in spiritual energy.
whoa.
Oh yeah.
Look, here's a banger. Reflect, inspire, serve, evolve. Let's go.
Whoa.
I love that.
Come
Oh,
on,
I
man.
love
yeah.
that.
If
You're
you
on
need a
fire with
reminder,
them.
just rewind it and y'all can hear it again.
And,
Love
and
you
you know,
guys.
That's a good idea.
I ain't no scared little mouse. Fear ain't in this house.
It ain't in his house. No, I want the song sent to me later, sir. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yes. I love
Brandy,
it.
you want to
Try to put
say
Andrew's
goodbye to
name in that
everybody?
song. Put Andrew's name somewhere in that song, please. Love you.
Yeah, this has been a great topic to talk about with some great people for sure. And man, if I leave you guys with anything, like, just there's always tomorrow. We are always, we're always working on growing. Like, I just want to be a little bit better tomorrow than I am today. And and be able to be the person that I portray, it's what I want to do. I want to be able to have healthy relationships. And these podcasts don't only help my recovery and my spirituality, but like my relationships. And to be able to
Mhm.
dive into these kind of things with
They're
you guys is
bangers.
pretty
They're bangers,
yeah.
guys. Just check them out.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. so that you know
It's a vibe.
It's a
It's a
vibe.
vibe.
Let's go.
So
Okay,
I love you
everybody.
guys.
Love
God grant us the
you.
serenity,
Serenity.
to accept the things
Accept
we
the
cannot
things we
change,
cannot
the
change.
courage to change
Courage
the
to
things we
change the
can,
things we can.
and the
And
wisdom
the
to know the
wisdom
difference.
to know the
Just for
difference.
today.
Tune in next
G.O.D..
episode for more recovery
Great
fun.
outpouring.
Bye-bye, everybody. I love anytime. Please help us help others. If you've liked what you've seen here today, please subscribe and share this podcast and help us get to 100 followers. We're looking for interaction with our audience. So please email recoveryfreedomrising@gmail.com or contact Milan South Okanagan Starcic on Facebook with questions, topic suggestions, or just comments. We'd love to hear from you.